Hi, so this is my whole review episode. It's quite a big one this time. Pardon me, I think I've just got shy of 40 comics to look at because I put off going to my comic shop for a few weeks. So I had a backlog, and then there's this weekends as well. So it's all mounted up. So there's all these to look at. So bear with me. I'm just going to get them in order and then we'll carry on. Okay, so got it in order. I'm not doing this again. I'm not going to leave it for so long. So I'm going to start off. Normally I do like this on a separate one, but I've decided now I'm going to incorporate it just into my weekly pulls because for some reason this normally comes out weekly, but it's been staggered at my comic shop. So for instance, when I go this weekend, it's going to be 2 issues. So this is the current prog. This is 2000 AD prog 2451. This comic, out of all the comics that I've picked up in the past few weeks, is the one that I've been anticipating the most, and it's all for this chap here, Red Dragon. He is a side character from Zenith, Grant Morrison's first superhero series from 1987, which ran till about 1992. Why do I know these facts? I don't know how to do life skills, but comics, no problem. Um, but oh my god, at the moment, 2000 AD is quite possibly one of the best comics on the stands at the moment. It's got that same kind of excitement what I used to get when I read it in the mid to late 80s when there was so much good stuff like Bad Company, Zenith, Slain by Simon Bisley, ABC Warriors, and so on, so on, and so on. So many good characters, good stories, good characters. And you also had Rogue Trooper being reinvented by Will Simpson and Dave Gibbons, and so on and so on. But this is just the storylines they've got present is amazing. To start off, they've got a fantastic Judge Dredd strip kicking it all off by Rob Williams, who's one of the best modern Judge Dredd writers, with gorgeous art by Henry Flint. He's one of my favourite artists on comics, and unusually for an artist who makes a big on 2000 AD, he's not ever felt like he wanted to jump ship. He's dipped his toes in American comics. He's done the Omega Men for DC, and he did Predator, Aliens versus Judge Dredd for Dark Horse. But apart from that, I can't think of anything else. But yeah, really, really solid Judge Dredd strip. But this is amazing. So Grant Morrison's not writing it, but it's written by Rob Williams again, and he's Welsh. Red Dragon's Welsh. He's got that nice, authentic voice to it. And what I like about it, Steve Yule, the original Zenith artist, he's doing the flashbacks, which unusually the flashbacks are the bits that are in colour, because obviously it was the 60s, so everything was like really popping. But the current storyline is illustrated by Patrick Goddard, who stylistically is quite different, but oh my god, he's up to his game. The art is just gorgeous. I'll definitely be getting this as well when it's collected. It's a great first chapter, really sets the scene. It's just wonderful. And then we have Voyage Runners, which is basically like what if the Fabulous Fairy Brothers were intergalactic space travelers. That's what it is. It's aliens on drugs, and it's just wonderful. Boo Cook doing wonderful, wonderful artwork, and it's written by David Hine, who did quite a bit of stuff for Crisis back in days, and a lot of image stuff, and he did some other stories as well, but my mind's just blank at present. But yeah, very solid writer. But yeah, really cool strip with gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. Boo Cook is a fantastic artist, and one that we've not seen for ages. Brass Sun's come back. This is really intelligent. Oh, I don't know if it's sci-fi. I'd say it's more like sci-fantasy, but it's written by Ian Edgerton, artwork by Ian J. Colbard, is one of the best minimalist artists going. His line work is precise. It's very, very sparse, and yet it's full of detail, if that makes sense. But yeah, a great story. I've got the hardback of the original story arc, which I do recommend people pick up while you still can. Um, and then to top it all, I've got one of the best road trip stories I've read in years. It's written by Alex DeCampi, artwork by Neil Edwards, who gave a shout out on my channel last time. So if he's watching this, thank you very much for your kind words. But his artwork is gorgeous. This has made me excited for Road Trooper in a more than I have done in many a year. I enjoyed this much more than the Patrick Gardon and Garth Ennis strip, which was done a while ago, because that was just more like an excuse to do a First World War story instead of a road trip story. So yeah, it's a solid 10 out of 10, 10 across the board. There's not one weak story in this comic. Yeah, the flying high, wonderful, wonderful. I do recommend, if you're not been buying 2000 AD, pick up the prog before it, 2450, and just jump on board, and you'll have a good time. And then just one from Boom. This took ages to come into my box. This is War Number 2 by Garth Ennis and Becky Cloonan. And this was originally in, was it Something Wicked or Darkness and Shadows or whatever? Is that Boom horror anthology? I tried it for a few issues, but I loved the war, but I did not really care for many of the other strips. They just felt a bit weak in comparison to, say, like the EC relaunch. But this, the war, is amazing. It's shocking to the system. It shows what would happen if war broke out in today's society in America or across the world. It's more horrific than any horror comic you can read. This is quite possibly Garth Ennis' most horrific comic he's ever written, because of how humanity can just be stripped away just like that with the drop of a bomb. I can't really show you much in here because it's quite graphic. And after you read it, you kind of, I would recommend reading this last if you've got a pile of comics, because you won't really feel like wanting to read anything afterwards. It'll make you feel quite reflective. But it's his best work he's done in a long, long, long time. Yeah, it's an easy 10 out of 10. And then I always like to try new Star Trek stuff. So Star Trek The Last Starship came out by the regular writing team of Jackson. I always get their names mixed up. Oh, it pisses me off how they do comics nowadays. I used to love it when you just had all the credits at the front. Now you've got to hunt for them. Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly on other writers. Adrian Vanilla is the artist. Art's okay. I just feel, I find it a bit confusing though. Some of the characters look very, very similar to each other, and even with the colouring, it doesn't really delineate it enough. But what? It's not a bad comic. It's $5.99, but it's a thick book. It's not a bad comic, but I think I'd just rather have something where they're not trying to throw everything in. It's got a time displaced Captain Kirk, but how they bring him into this future storyline is clever, and it's basically like the cherry picking all the fan favorite bits from different eras of Star Trek and mashing them all together. So it's kind of like got the story beats of the last 2 seasons of Star Trek Discovery, and then it's got other classic tropes brought in, like it's got the Borg and things like that from the current run of Picard. And yeah, there's too much. I just wish they'd just concentrate on one thing. It's neither one thing nor the other. And so because of that, as they say on Dragon's Den, I'm out. Um, I'd give it a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. It's not bad, by no means is it bad. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's messy. So yeah, so unfortunately it's a no for me, but at least save some pennies. But on the flip side, Red Shirts issue number 3, again, they've given me the really cool variant cover. This is fun. This is what I want in a Star Trek comic. It's brutal, it's bloody, sense of humour is off the charts. The Red Shirts, not many survive. That's all I can say. Just buy it. It's on the 3 issues deep so far. You'll have a blast. Even if you're not a Star Trek fan, this will be something that you really enjoy. And yeah, it's an 8 out of 10. Really good fun. And something that I got because I'm a huge pulp fan. Yeah, I love comics, but growing side by side with my love for comics, I used to get these old New England Library pulp books. I used to read like the Doc Savages, Edgar Rice Burroughs Carson books, and the John Carter of Mars books, and Tarzan, etc. And the Shadow. I used to read the Shadow comics in the 70s, and of course the Doc Savage magazine, and Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, and of course the Phantom as well. and they've now brought the Phantom back out from Mad Cave. It's by Ray Fawkes, artwork by Russell Olson. The artwork's really pleasing. It's quite simplistic, but that's what you want from this. And what I like about the Phantom, it's pulpy, it's an action comic, but it's wholesome, and it's just like a really fun. It's just a fun read. It's just silly escapism. It's escapist fun. Um, and am I still on? Yeah, I'm still on. Yeah, it's everything I want from a Phantom comic. I know other companies have tried it. Dynamite tried it a while ago. DC had quite a lengthy run, and I think Marvel did it for a bit. But this feels the pace, the beats, much more solid. He's managed to bring it into the modern age without sacrificing the heart of the Phantom. So it's set. This opening arc is set in. Opening arc is set in the jungle, in the village where he lives, and this plane crashes, and there's certain stuff on the plane, and this person and this group of people with him come to the jungle, and that's when things hit the fan, basically. I encourage you to buy it. In the UK, it does cost a bit more because Mad Cave's not distributed by Diamond, so I had to pay a bit extra. But with my discount, this is what it'd be like me buying a $4.99 book off the shelf without having my loyalty discount. So it doesn't hurt me that much. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. 8.5 out of 10 because I want to see how it develops. And then we move on to Bad Idea. I don't know how I missed this the first time. It's been on the shop. I don't know. Wasn't in my box. So I managed to find it, and I made sure it goes into my pool list again. Cul-de-sac number 2. So by Mike Carey, Jonathan Wayshak. This art is amazing. I love how it's on newsprint. It's a big, thick comic, and there's a really fun backup strip by the Laphams as well. David and his wife. It's just good fun. Bad Idea is a very good idea. I've stopped getting Marvel. I'm just going to get trades for the Marvel comics that I do want to get, because the comic format, what they do it in is shit. The advert placement is the worst out of any company. It just doesn't make sense. It pulls you out of the reading experience. Paper quality is bad and it's overpriced. This is $5.99. There's over 40 pages. It's on newsprint, which I adore, and the story's fucking amazing. And to be honest, with Bad Idea, I'm picking it up because you never know how if they're gonna collect it in trade paperback, because they're very unpredictable. But it's balls to walls fun, and it's 9 out of 10. A really fun, modern, gritty spin on the vampire, because they're not really vampires, on the vampire mythology and lore. So really, really good. And it's only 2 issues so far, so you can still pick it up. And I'm talking Bad Idea again. We've got a Matt Kint book with art by Ramon Villalobos and colours by Tamara Bonvillain. And this is the collector one. I think they released this originally when you could only get Bad Idea in very limited areas. So this is books 1 and 2 of They're All Terrible. This is a punk rock sword and sorcery book. The artwork is just fucking amazing. It's just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I adore this comic. It's heavy metaling. It reads like a heavy metal strip. It's very savage. It's very violent. And the humor's funny. It's Matt Kint. It's Matt Kint just having fun. I think he's smoking a spliff while he's writing this. And the artwork's dynamic. The characters are intriguing, and it's got a really great payoff on the final page. There's a great twist on the final page, and I'm here for the next one. 9 out of 10. Really good. Conan, number 24. It's Conan. There's never a weak issue of Conan. The lowest I've ever given a Conan comic, I think, is 8. And I'll give this an 8.5 out of 10. It's solid. It ties up the story well. Next issue, I think, is going to be a double-sized 25th issue. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, Conan is consistently good. So yeah, if you're not buying it, what's wrong with you? Then we've got 3 Batman titles. First one we have is Detective Comics 1101, The Courage That Kills, by the regular team of Tom Taylor and Mikhail Janin, who colours as well. Oh my god. Every Batman comic now that we've got rid of Chip Zdarsky, is amazing. The creative team's got just great. This is a wonderful, wonderful. It's a detective story. That's what you want with your detective comic. This is just Batman stripped bare, and it's wonderful. And I like how I just like how Tom Taylor writes Batman. It's good. It's very, very good. Much better than his Nightwing comic. 9 out of 10. It's just a joy to read. And talking of joy to read, we've got Batman #2. And I love how they have Tim Drake back in. I love how he's drawn by um, Jorge Jimenez. And the writing by Matt Fraction is just so top notch. And there's just little bits of humorous beats inside. There's little geeky touches about the explain little technological bits what Batman uses. And I know I think it's geeky. Old Hogan was saying, "Oh, it's all cluttered. There's so many people. There's only Robin in with him. Good God." If you look at a Spider-Man comic, there's so many cast members in that. But that's by the by. That's silly. It's just silly. It's a good comic. It's a good Batman and Robin comic, and I like how Matt Fraction writes Tim Drake, because I think Tim Drake recently has been watered down a bit. It's not felt very Tim Drake. It's been more like Tim Drake with, and I'm trans. I'm as rainbow as you can get. I am as a I'm a I'm a Republican's nightmare. I'm so woke. But how does she see Tim Drake recently? It's just been message first, character second, whereas this is character first. Who cares who he's dating? Who cares about his private life? This is Tim Drake. He's always been billed as like the detective one, Oswald Robbins, and he is my favourite Robin for working with Batman. It's just great, and there's a really fun flashback to how he's learned to drive the car, and how Damien, who's such a brat, was getting jealous and just wanted attention all the time. It's just wonderful, great art. Let's just I can just show you any page. Any page is just wonderful. Great art, great story. 10 out of 10. I'm loving it. Talk about loving it. Batman Robin Year 1, number 11. I'm very disgusted with this comic because it's finishing next issue. It should carry on forever, but it's going to be perennial. It's going to be an evergreen comic. It's going to be one that never goes out of style. It's Chris Samney at the top of his game. Him and Mark Waid writing Batman and plotting Batman together is just a joy. I love how they've reinvented and made Clayface something to be feared, something that's not just a parody. Like he's been reduced to a lot of the cartoons, and his writing, the writing of Dick Grayson, this by Mark Waid, is just great. And I love how Bruce is learning to be a dad because it's not his natural nature. It's just fantastic. 10 out of 10 again. Oh, that cover. So here we have Nightwing 130 by the regular team of Dan Watters and Dexter Soy. Dexter Soy, I really love the energy of his work. It's very noirish. Dan Watters, oh my God. What can he write? He's, from the way the script book, Dan Watters for me is a more accessible, and I love this writer, but he's a more accessible, less flowery, less pretentious Ram V. He's got a very good commercial voice, but he's got a very good idea of how to do a good mystery. And it goes very weird on the last few pages. And I can't wait for next month. This is a joy. 10 out of 10. This was a joy, but sadly, it won't be for much longer. I think it ends in issue 31. So enjoy them while you can. Green Arrow number 28 by the regular team of Montos on art and Chris Condon on writing. I adore Chris Condon as a writer. This is the best Green Arrow we've had since Mike Grail's run. I hated, not hate, hate's too strong a word, but I didn't like Joshua Williamson's Green Arrow. This is what I want. I want a grown-up, mature story where it's stripped back, it's back to basics. It's Green Arrow by himself. A few people come in just as like side plots, but you don't get swamped down with people. And the art by Montos is a delight. So enjoy it while you can. It's great. 9 out of 10. Oh, this is hard. As I'm saying, I love this writer, but I'm kind of pleased it's finishing with issue 12. It's not bad by no means, but and next month will be good because Dennis Cowan is doing the the secondary artwork along with the regular art of Evan Cagle. Pipar's done 2 issues, and I didn't mind the first one because it was set on an alien planet. It featured Green Lanterns, everything was alien. But fuck me, he can't draw people. He's drawn Mr. Miracle like did they call it an ugly fish somewhere? It's got like a really big snout and it looks like an old man's face. That's what he looks like with his mask on. It's just ugly art. And I feel like Ranveer's just given up on the plot because he's stopping it soon. Because he did say somewhere that he wants to do less mainstream comics now, which is fair play to him, but don't give up on a book you've started. So it's just okay. So I'm going to unfortunately give this a 7 out of 10, but 2 issues to go. I'm going to carry on with it. Whereas this, oh my god, this could be the best art of any comic this time, including Batman. Cheetah and Cheshire robbed the Justice League by Greg Rucka and Nicholas Scott. Yeah, the cover's great, but the cover is nothing compared to the artwork inside. Her artwork, oh my god, it's beautiful, and the story is wonderful. It's just it's a fun heist. It's not cutesy. It's not shallow. It's just good. It's fast paced. It is like Ocean's 11 in a comic strip. It's just great. I love comics that are villain centric. Anyway, it reminds me of the old was it the League of Supervillains back in the 70s, and Marvel had one as well. It's just wonderful, and it's just got some really left of centre characters like Carrion. Is it Clarion the Witch Boy? And there's other characters in as well. And there's one called Sideways who would like add a series for a minute and then he drops off, but it's become like this cult favorite. So it's just really, really good artwork. Honestly, it's if you're an art lover and you're not buying this, I feel sorry for you. It's just wonderful. So yeah, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. And then we move on to the Adventures of Superman, Book of L #2. This is the Fortress of the Future. This issue is tagged as. So it's, oh no, this bugs me when they do that, and then they have a different title. So it's actually called The Second Coming. It's Book of L Part 2. So it's 12 issue maxi. It's spinning off from Philip Kennedy Johnson's Superman run, well, set in War World. But this time Superman's been propelled into the future, and he's on an Earth that he doesn't recognise. But it's housed by some of his very, very distant future relatives on there. And there's a really good twist in here. It's fun. It's good. It's an intelligent Superman tale. The art by Godowalski, yeah, no complaints. It's solid. Everything about it's a solid comic, but is it essential? No. But I'm enjoying it. I like the storytelling what Philip Kennedy Johnson did with Superman, so I'm back on board for a second helping. And I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. But one I am loving is Superman Unlimited, that cover. I love that. That's just such a good retro cover. #5 by Dan Slott. Who knew Dan Slott could write Superman? And artwork by Raphael Albuquerque. It's brilliant. I was a bit and about the first few issues, but it's found its feet. This is great. It's fast paced. You don't need to get any other Superman title. The artwork is dynamic. This is what I want in a Superman comic. It's just fun. It's good. And it's cardstock cover, $4.99 comic, and it's a cardstock cover. This is why I like DC. Yeah, so I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Every month I sing its praises, and this month's no different. JSA #12, Ragnarok Part 2. This is the conclusion of the 12-issue storyline. With I think there was a gap in between at one of them, of the first big storyline. Well, since JSA launched, and it's got the original artist back on, whose name I can never remember, Diego Olatugu, and it's written by Jeff Lemire. I love this artwork. It reminds me very much of Scott Collins, as inked by Tom Palmer. I think I say that every time. It's good. It's bombastic. It's got bickering. It's got soap opera. It's everything I want in a scene book. I love the JSA. Oh, fuck it. It's 10 out of 10. And another one that I've had a ball with. I'm really sad it's finished. DC vs. Vampires World War V. So it's come to the conclusion. And Marvel, they keep the original artist on all the issues. It can be done. This is great. Matthew Rosenberg writing, Otto Schmidt on story, and there's a fun backup as well, featuring the Haunted Tank, which I really enjoyed. But this art, come on, it's just great. This is everything I want in a vampire comic. This is how you do vampires, mix them with superheroes. It's wonderful. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 just for the whole series, for the series of whole, for the reading experience. It was always a highlight. I always just going to have fun with it, with whatever issue picks up. So yeah, Why have you not bought this? You need to buy this when it's collected. It's wonderful. I know he's normally a Marvel fan, but Geeky Old Hog will agree with me. This is a great, great series. Talk about great, great series. See what I did there? Just slid right in. And so we have Absolute Wonder Woman number 12. Wonderful cover of a wonderful comic featuring a Wonder Woman by where am I derailed myself then. Kelly Thompson writing and Hayden Sherman on arts with Jod Blair on colours. Quite possibly the most beautiful, intricate artwork in any comic. Yes, I love the Cheshire one, but this is monthly. The layouts and Hayden's layouts and designs are just otherworldly. They really are. The story is great. It's got a brilliant fusion of mythology with modern storytelling. This is what I wanted in a Wonder Woman comic. I've never not enjoyed a Wonder Woman comic this much since back in the 80s when George Perez did it, when he relaunched it after Crisis. It gives me that same kind of excitement. It's great. Fuck it, 10 out of 10. A lot of 10 out of 10s. I'm buying comics I like. If I don't like a comic, I'll stop it or I'll shelve it for a bit. One that I shelved and I'm loving it again. See, I'm honest, if I don't like a comic, I'll shelve it, but I won't. I just don't want to rage read something all the time. So I picked up Absolute Green Lantern 6 and Absolute Green Lantern 7. I wasn't that impressed with the previous issues, but it's become good. Oh my god, it's good now. And I even liked the regular art on this issue, which is John O. Lindsay. Previously, that's what put me off. I really hated their artwork, but they've found the feats in this issue, and it's wonderful. And it's become a really weird sci-fi horror story. But with issue 7, it gets even better because we get some pages by Riley Rossmo as well. And there's an appearance on the final page of a really, really cool, one of my favourite Green Lantern villains, one of my favourite villains in comics of all time. And so, yeah, I'm a happy bunny. But this is great. This is what I wanted in Absolute Green Lantern. Oh Young's finally stopped being pretentious, and he's now given us what we want. He's given us a good, solid sci-fi. But because of being absolutely loved toying about with horror as well, so there's a big horror vein in it as well. So it's got like that kind of sci-fi horror thing like you get with Event Horizon or something like that. And it's so good. So good. 9 out of 10. Okay, I'm just going to say this. Absolute Superman, number 12, 10 out of 10. Buy it. Nothing else to say. It's just wonderful. Jason Aaron, you're doing a lot's work with this comic, and I applaud you for it. And then Absolute Evil. Wow, I had no clue what this was going to be. Al Ewing writing it. Artwork by, oh, what's his name? Kamikoli, who did a series by for Image a while ago. By Max Landis, about these people who travel back in time or back to this fantasy land or something. And he also did, I think he did The Night, the Chips of Asgard, I think. But he's a really good artist, very distinctive, very unique, nice European flavour to his art style. But yes, so I went to this with no idea what it was going to be. And this is the absolute version of the Justice League, but instead of it being the Justice League of good guys, it's like the Justice League of evil. And it's brilliant. Hawkman's a bastard, and I love him for it. It's they introduce Green Arrow, and then he has a swift exit. I loved it. This is what you want from an event comic. This is why I'm connecting more with these than the Ultimates universe, because I love the Ultimate X-Men because it feels like its own beast. Ultimates, I like, but I get annoyed because the monthly jumps really piss me off. But this and the other Absolute comics, the story's going on and going on and going on, and this really enriches it. And you don't need to get loads of comics to tie it in with. There's no big event. This is it. It's one and done. It's like a side quest, and it's great, and it's going to give it a 9 out of 10. Wow, 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 wow. I had no clue this was coming out, so I didn't pick it up originally. I only realised when I saw Geeky Hulk mention it on his channel a few weeks back. So I picked it up about a week or two ago. So it's the sequel to Batman First Night by Dan Jurgens writing. Dan Jurgens says, fucking this. Woo! I like him. I'm not the only one who swears. And Mike Perkins and Mike Spicer on artwork. The art is a delight. So it's moving on from the previous story. It's moved on a year. There's a new mystery, still set in at the cusp of the war, or cusp of the war for America's involvement in it, because obviously they always come late to the party and then take all the glory. Um, and it's great. So they introduced this version of the Scarecrow, and it's wonderful. It really looks nice on this big format, 48 pages, big format. It's only $6.99, and you get your blurb on the back as well, so that'll make one person happy. Yeah, buy it. Buy the other collection as well. It's just a great pulpy read. I love this because, like I said, I like pulp heroes, and this is the closest you get to a pulp hero version of the Batman. Fuck it, 10 out of 10. Now, this pile, thought the DC was a big pile. This is all Image. Let me just. Oh shit! I've just knocked my coffee over. I must have done it a while ago. So my carpet's had a nice drink. I've not. Anyway, fuck it. Well, I'll get a drink later. So we want to Image. So we got Feral number 16 by the regular team of Fleeks, Fosner, and Rodriguez. And I've said this before. It's one of the best comics out there. It's horror done with it's a horrific version of Watership Down, even though Watership Down could be called horror as well. It's basically like, instead of being zombies, it's rabid. Rabies is taking over the whole of the population of all the animals in the world, and these animals are hiding out in this pet store at the moment. And it's just as it's dangerous in there, but for different reasons, which I think I elaborated on last month. But you need to read this. It's just amazing. It's 16 issues long, and it's not had a dull issue yet. It ramps up the tension with each issue. All the cats are distinctive and relatable. It's just great. It's got cute cats, but with horrific surroundings. Yeah, it's a 10. And we have G.I. Joe number 11, Joshua Williamson, Andrea Milana, Leela Luridge on colours. I'm not a G.I. Joe fan of the I don't know the comics. I don't know the Marvel comics. Don't know the anime, the cartoon, or the films, or the toys. But I love this comic. It's a blast. It's fast. It's punchy. It's funny. It's Joshua Williamson having fun. Williamson. And yeah, I'll give it a solid 8.5. Exquisite Corpses. I like it, but I've got a feeling I might get bored of it soon. It very much is, I feel, a one-trick pony with the storytelling. But they could prove me wrong. I'll see. I feel sometimes with James Tynion IV, who I love, I feel like sometimes they can get a story idea and they can stretch it and stretch it and stretch it and stretch it and stretch it. And I've got a feeling they could do that with this, but it's still good. It's still enjoyable. But I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's like I said before, it's a bit like The Purge, but there's these, like, not oligarchs, but these people, like the richest people in the area, and they each have a representative for their part of America, and they fight each other. So yeah, 8 out of 10. News from Fallout, I got the alternate cover, which I really like because the original cover is dull as shit. So this is very much, I think it's a 6-issue series. This very much feels like padding in this issue. It's like a quiet beat before the next big explosion happens story-wise. So as we mentioned before, it's all done in like this black and white silhouettes, and it's this virus has taken. It's set like in the 1950s, 1960s, I think. No, 1954. So this kind of like virus comes out and it turns people into rabid, like zombies, flesh-eating zombies. And yeah, it waned a bit with this one, so I'm going to give it 7 out of 10, but I'm going to carry on. Let's just sort this out a little bit. I'm just getting it into. There we go. So, Hyde Street. I don't choose my covers, so quite often they'll give me a variant. Don't know if I like this variant or not, but it's just the cover. I buy comics for what's inside. This is issue 9 of High Street by Jeff Johns. Guest artist Francis Portela. So this is highlighting the backstory of the plastic surgeon. It's fun. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's tongue-in-cheek horror. I really enjoyed it. It was a blast. So it explains how he ended up in High Street, like it always does with these characters. The only thing, the only critique I've got High Street, it's a great comic, by the way. Let's get the marks out of the way. 8 out of 10. But I'm getting a bit tired of where it's like the Lost trope, what they used in the Lost TV series, where they're bringing in this character, so now we've got to have their origin story. Sometimes I don't want an origin story. I want the story just to progress, but we've got to step back, have an issue of an origin story, I mean, do another story beat, then it's another origin story. So for that, I'm deducting the point. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10, but it's still a great comic. Red Coat, this covered by Cal Hotz. Didn't know he did one, but I'm glad they put this in my box. Wonderful. Please, please, please let Cal Hotz do a Marvel or DC comic, horror one especially. I do miss that guy. So this is continuing Red Coat, which is becoming quickly my favourite Ghost Machine comic. This is a flashback a bit earlier on into his time, and it features George Washington in a very interesting way. The art is gorgeous, the story is great. 9 out of 10, wonderful. Aha! Rook's finally back. So this is number 7. That cover's boring as fuck. I was expecting something a bit more. This wouldn't make me buy it. If I saw this cover, I'd just pass it by. The colours, just the layout, it's dull. Artwork's nice though. Artwork inside is gorgeous. I don't know. I was expecting something more. One thing that did annoy me, you had about 10 pages of story, and then where is it now? Then there's a whole fucking info dump on this page where it elaborates on everything. It just tells you everything that you've already read in the past 6 issues. You're not going to pick this up with number 7. You'll have got the book if you've not bought the other issues, so you'll know all that. Pointless, 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 waste of page. Oh, it made me angry. I did. I went, oh, it's great. Storyline, just mid. I wanted more, but maybe it's a soft relaunch. I don't know, because maybe I was just hyped more because back then when it first came out, there was nothing like it on the market. But now, all the other Ghost Machine books have elevated the game, and other comics from Image and DC have elevated the game as well. Well, there's going to be some Image ones here that are better than this. So I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 because I know both creators on this can do more and I want some more for a big comeback. So let's talk about the one that is how Rook Exodus should have been. And this is by an artist who I normally, and I'm going to get flack for this, I normally don't like. And this is from Robert Kirkman and David Finch, and it's Skinbreaker, number 1. I do not like his superhero artwork. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried. I've looked at his Batman stuff. I've looked at his Avengers stuff. I don't like David Finch doing superheroes. David Finch taking how many ever years out to do a fantasy story. I love. This is the David Finch I want. This is just absolutely gorgeous. The story's good. Robert Kirkman's reining himself in a bit to play on the strengths of David Finch's artwork. It's a great rip-roaring science fantasy, and I'm here for it. I still don't know what the characters are called. Can't remember what the names are. But I fell in love with each character. I feel for his son. It's just great. It's a nice bit of world building. It's $4.99, but I think there's about 28, 30 pages of story. Cardstock cover. It's a great, great comic. Buy this comic. Don't buy the Treasury, apparently. Somebody will know what I mean. But for the list, though, the regular comic, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. It's a great, great way to start a comic series. Ghost Pepper number 3. This is a weird blend of like a European artwork with manga, and it's great. It's how can I describe this? It's a story about 2 competing food trucks, alien beings, and gods, and people fight and god killers. That's all you need to know. I think that's enough. And yeah, it's wonderful. I love this comic. 9 out of 10. Another one I love, and again I got the alternate cover. Didn't choose it, but I'm glad they put it in my box because that is a wonderful alternative cover. Very good. So number 2 of Invisible Man. Invisible Man's my favourite Universal Monsters character. I don't know if I've told this before, but when I was a kid, my dad was a very religious man, and he got rid of the TV. He smashed it, so that was nice of him. But we had like this little cine projector, and he had these little rolls of old cine films. And one he had was this film of the Universal Monsters, Invisible Man. So because it was, we used to watch that, and it had like, you couldn't hear words or anything, but you could see like the text underneath. So I've always had a look at it, and then obviously I watched the film later on. So this is my favourite of the Universal Monsters series. One, I love James Tynion, and two, I adore Danny's artwork. I would love for Danny and Chris Condon to do a Daredevil comic. Oh, that would be so, so good. Um, but yeah, as I've said before in the last one, the character who plays the man who becomes the Invisible Man, he's scarier than any of the other Universal monsters because he's a monster already. He's a psychopath, and this is just ramps up that feeling, that unease, and you know it's going to get bloody in the next few issues. And yeah, wonderful. 9 out of 10. This was the biggest fun. It's stupid. It's dumb. I wasn't even going to buy it, but it was in my box. So I would give it a try. What sold it as well was this 1980 style cover. This is Cold Sliver. This is basically, I didn't know about this lore, but it's basically based on Cobra had these sleeper agents who made into this rock and roll band to try and infiltrate people's brains with this song, and so they were Cold Sliver, and that's what this comic's about. And it's just stupid, but it's absolutely wonderful. I adored it. Yeah, I'm going to give this 9 out of 10. I was pleasantly surprised, and apparently you can get a CD as well. So there you go, great fun. And Battle Beast does what Battle Beast does: fights, quips, bickers with the little alien guy, and the art by Ryan Otley is always good. It's always a delight. 9 out of 10. And this was a curio. I got one called Good Devils. It's a one shot by Nick Dragata and written by fuck's sake, David Brothers. So it's some strips what you might not have seen of Nick Dragata of absolute Batman fame. It's a fun read. I did buy it. Was an art buy. It was definitely an art buy, but it was a dumb fun action comic, like a love letter to the old um, Chop Socky films and the best anime and manga comics, fighting comics like Fist of North Star, etc. And there's a good like little crime one in the back as well. So it was an interesting read. A 7.5 out of 10. I'm glad I picked it up. $5.99, 64 pages. Can't complain. But lastly, and I reserve this for last because I think it's special. Not often you get a new comic that really leaves an impression. This one did. I've never heard of these people before. Well, I've heard of the artist just recently. So this is by Frank J. Barber is the writer, and Morgan Beam, who did a Twilight Zone comic, what came out recently, is the artist. This is basically a Vertigo comic. The artwork, she's painted it as well. She's done the whole colouring in it as well. The artwork is just delightful. So basically, it's about this author he's a professional. He like writes in his time, does like self-published works, and he gets this con. He thinks it's a scam at first from somebody alleged to be this world famous writer of children's novels. She's a woman. She's very turfy. She's very anti-trans. She's based in the UK, Scottish. I wonder who she could be. I don't know, but and I love how to do that. And he's got a trans child. I think they're non-binary, and so he's got this conflict when he gets the offer of the job, but he goes for it because obviously it's £1 million. So you got that interesting dynamic where his child's just like you sell out kind of thing. So they both moved to London to this. He's basically been asked to curate these old children's books, what kind of like got lost in the midst of time, and the basically like the J.K. Rowling kind of character. They're going to put their name on it and get basically most of the profits for it, but he'll do most of the research and writing. And there's some kind of like supernatural mystery going on. There's like this kind of like presence which comes when people read this basically long forgotten authors books. And it's great. It's $4.99, but it's about 40 pages story in it. So it's quite a thick book. It's great. Had me gripped all the way through, and it's a 10 out of 10. I've not read this, and Skinbreak have really, really surprised me. It's been a really great few weeks of comics. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that. It's been a very long, good grief, nearly 50 minutes. God, yes. So good one to end on. There's been one. I wouldn't say disappointment. It's just they could do better, but there we go. So yeah, okay, bye.